Welcome to the Sober Q podcast.
Hi, my name's Catherine. I'm an alcoholic. The question is, why do we need complete abstinence from alcohol? The way I understand why I, as an alcoholic, need to abstain completely from alcohol, which means don't drink alcohol one day at a time, is because as an alcoholic, I suffer from a mental obsession coupled with a physical compulsion to drink. And so the way I understand my disease of alcoholism is that once I pick up a drink and start to drink it, I trigger in my body a reaction to alcohol, which is described in the Big Book as a phenomenon of craving, which means that there is something that happens in my body when I drink alcohol which makes me crave more, and I can't control it. And that is one of the things that's talked about in the Big Book, is that, an alcoholic is unable to control and enjoy their drinking. And when I used to hear about the phenomenon of craving of alcoholics talked about at meetings, I used to think that this was an extremely, dramatic event, and that it would somehow look like an alcoholic crawling on all fours down the pavement to the bar to get a drink. But actually the phenomenon of craving in me used to manifest something like I'd go out and have a drink, and I would think, I'm just going to have one drink. And I'd get to the bar and I'd have one drink. And then I'd think, you know what, I have time for a second drink. And so I'd have a second drink. And then I'd think, well, I'm kind of running late on my schedule to meet friends at another place, so I'll just have another drink and I'll be a little bit late when I meet them. And then I'd have that third drink, and then I'd think, I'm probably too late to meet them at that place, so I know that they're going to be somewhere else afterwards. I'll go meet them at that place, and I'd have my fourth drink. And that, for me, was a phenomenon of craving, that I could not guarantee that I could go out and have one drink and plan to show up for the rest of the day or the night, according to the plan. And, I wanted to show up for the other events, but once that phenomenon of craving kicked in, it was very, very hard for me to leave the bar. And I would be that alcoholic that's talked about in the Big Book, more or less insanely drunk in the bar, thinking, how did I get here? I didn't want to stay here. I wanted to go meet my friends. But what would happen is I would drink so much that eventually I just wouldn't care anymore, or I'd black out, and that presented a whole other exciting, demoralizing adventure that I would come to from in the morning. So for me, why I have to abstain from alcohol is that because once I put alcohol into my body, it changes me at a cellular level, and it triggers this phenomenon of craving, a craving that I can't control. And so that's why in Alcoholics Anonymous, they said to me, don't pick up one drink for one day at a time. And here I am 28 years later sober, and it is just 28 years of not picking up one drink for one day for a number of years. And of course, following the suggested spiritual program of action, which I did too. So thank you for asking me to participate. And it's amazing. I'm recording this from Maryland, Eastern in the United States. Thanks, guys.
If you would like to share your experience on a recovery question, visit the Sober Q podcast website at soberq.com. Thanks for listening.